What's going on, guys? It's Sam from Sparesbox, and we've got a very exciting visitor who's dropped by the Sparesbox HQ. It's, of course, Benny. You probably know him from Benny's Custom Works on YouTube or Mechanical Stig if you're a big online fanatic. Benny, mate, it's great to have you in here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you probably know already that we've recently partnered with Benny and his new YouTube channel, Benny's Custom Works. Now, we've seen some seriously epic builds coming out of that YouTube, mate, and it's awesome to see. But we thought we'd get you into the Sparesbox HQ, show you around some of our builds that are going on here, get some advice, get some help maybe. What do you reckon?
Let's check it out.
It's all a little bit out of my depth, so I'm going to call in James, who's our resident mechanical guru. James, mate, Benny,
G'day,
James.
Mate, how you going?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, good.
Thanks for coming.
No, thank you.
So here's our Alpha race car for the Twin Spark Cup.
Yeah.
Bought the car for 1,000 bob and put it together 3 years ago. Doesn't know us a whole lot. It's just a bit of cheap fun for the guys when we have the chance.
Yeah, nice.
90 race hours on it so far, and all we do is to change the oil, so
Wow, that's impressive.
can't really complain.
No.
The small amount of work we have done to the car includes obviously a canvas-approved roll cage as required, along with a velo seat and Sparko harness.
Yeah.
We use a harness device in this car. Safety is paramount, of course.
Yeah, of course.
We do have Coney shocks and iBark springs in it. They are painted black.
For stealth.
Yeah, exactly. We also, you can't really see it, but we have fitted an Aeroflow remote oil filter and oil cooler down in the front here.
Yeah, nice. Is that to move the oil filter up for clearance issues? Or?
Yeah, it's very, very close to the exhaust manifold, and
Yeah, right.
our oil temps did get really, really high.
Yeah, cool.
But besides that, it's pretty much a factory car. So over here we've got our Peugeot 205 Targa rally car, or will be Targa rally car.
Nice.
It's owned by our company director Leon.
Yeah, cool.
It's a long-term project. This one, he's had the car for I think 10 odd years, maybe even longer.
Yeah, wow.
Came in here as a running but a little rough street car, and we pulled it apart, realised what we got ourselves into, and have kind of just gone ham. Here's an XU9J, the original engine the car was sold with, matching numbers, because some people care about that. There's not much Peugeot left inside the engine despite the way it looks. We've rebuilt it, of course, knife-edged crank, forged pistons, forged rods. We've removed 16 kilos of rotating mass
Wow.
from the motor. It's an awful lot for a tiny
That's
engine.
crazy.
Yeah.
I've noticed you guys have done a lot of replumbing and relocating, so obviously that's sort of just to ensure that everything works forever type deal.
Absolutely. We've, obviously, as you can see, it's got a dual master cylinder arrangement here and a hydraulic handbrake, which kind of necessitates replumbing of the entire brake system.
Yeah.
Which is a really tedious job.
Oh, I
bending
know.
hard lines,
I was
yeah.
admiring the hardline work before, actually. You got to straighten it all first before you even start using it.
Yeah, we've gotten the Aeroflow tool to do it.
Yeah, I've got
right
one too, the
through.
straightener.
It's
Yeah,
worth
they're
every
awesome.
cent if you're doing an entire car.
100%.
We're really looking forward to getting it done. Quafe LSD in the gearbox, but otherwise factory. And the Targa Tassie rules do require we run a distributor still, so that will be what we're doing. Although we will use a Haltech to run it all.
Yeah, fantastic.
We're only in it for fun, really, and to do.
You're not really going there to get a 20-cent piece of plastic, are you?
Nah, no one's winning Targa Tasmania 205 GDI.
Yeah.
We wouldn't start with it.
Be an amazing drive though.
Oh, it'll be fantastic.
This thing will be cool.
Scary.
I've got a secret little soft spot for these things. So
Yeah,
it's cool to see one built to this level.
Well, he still hasn't found someone brave enough to sit in the passenger seat.
Yeah, that's definitely not my thing. I'll be
No?
busy that day. Yeah, nice.
This is going into our FJ40 Landcruiser project.
Yeah, cool.
Which you may have seen on our YouTube channel. This is the cab for it right here. Looking a bit sad and sorry at the moment. This is a fresh engine. We bought a short block from LSX Performance down in Melbourne.
Yeah, cool. Just ready built.
Yeah, ready built.
Yeah,
short
nice.
block. Spoke to them about cam choice, and they kind of helped us pick the right cam out of their range for it, which we ended up with Crow Cam.
Yeah, nice.
It's not heavily modified. LS is they don't really take much to be a potent engine. They respond really well to small changes.
Yeah, our limited exposure to LS has been pretty good. They just seem to copper beating and keep ticking along.
Yeah, cost effective. There's a lot to be said for the LSs, which is why we went with it. We've got our Edelbrock twin planet manifold in here, which is a lovely piece of kit.
Yeah,
Fairly new item from them. We just like the aesthetics really, but it is quite a nicely designed manifold as well.
Yeah.
We're mating this to a Toyota R151F gearbox from a
nice.
Surf.
And what bell housing are you using for that?
Bell housing from Castlemaine Rod Shop.
Yeah. So this is the engine sorted. What are you guys doing for the rest of the driveline?
For the rest of the driveline, it's largely Toyota affair. We've got our
So this is the chassis here?
Yeah, this is it. We
nice.
just got it back from powder coating recently.
Yeah, cool.
Looks $1 million. It was pretty derelict before we sent it off.
Very derelict.
Yeah, it was a big turning point for us seeing this looking pretty. It was the first thing to
Yeah.
come back looking good.
Nice.
Now, with 500 horsepower and a Landcruiser chassis and a heavy cab, there's no way this thing's going to maintain drum brakes.
No, God, no.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Discs, obviously.
Discs all around, yeah.
Okay,
Discs
cool.
all around.
Just kind of tidy it up and add your touches to it.
Yeah, totally. Like no LED push
Yeah.
buttons or anything like that, but yeah, neaten it up.
Generally, the cab's in really good condition. Like, it doesn't look like you guys have done any bodywork to it apart from
No.
like the modifications required to put the engine in. Like, these things normally rust.
Yeah, it's surprising.
This one's really good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty ambitious project, but I like it. It's been awesome to come and check out all the projects here. I'm very keen to come and spin some spanners, especially on that cruiser. That's caught my eye. So we'll see how that goes, but watch this space.